Hello and good day, welcome to our video channel, God's Promises. And today's video will be a fast, concise overview. Book of Isaiah, chapter 10. Let's get started now. Isaiah chapter 10 is a continuation of the prophecy against Assyria that began in chapter 9. The focus of this chapter is on God's judgment of Assyria for their arrogance and cruelty towards other nations. The chapter begins with a warning to those who make unjust laws and oppress the poor, telling them that they will face punishment for their actions. The passage then shifts to Assyria, who are described as the rod of my anger. Verse 5, that God has used to punish his people for their disobedience. However, Assyria did not recognize that they were only a tool in God's hand, and instead became arrogant in their power, boasting about their conquests and treating conquered people with cruelty. As a result, God announces that he will judge Assyria for their pride and punish them for their mistreatment of his people. Despite this judgment, God assures his people that he will always protect and defend them, and that even the most powerful nations are ultimately subject to his will. The chapter concludes with the promise of restoration for God's people, who will one day be freed from their oppressors and live in peace and prosperity. The lesson from Isaiah chapter 10 is that God is just and will hold accountable those who oppress and mistreat others. No one, not even the most powerful nations, is exempt from God's judgment if they persist in their arrogance and cruelty. Moreover, this chapter teaches us that God is always working behind the scenes, even when we cannot see it. Assyria did not realize that they were being used by God as a tool to discipline his people, and they did not recognize that their power ultimately came from him. We too must remember that God is in control, even when it seems like evil is triumphing in the world. Finally, Isaiah chapter 10 reminds us that God's ultimate plan is one of restoration and redemption. Even though God's people were being punished for their disobedience, God promised to ultimately restore them and bring them into a time of peace and prosperity. We too can take comfort in the fact that God is ultimately working towards a final restoration of all things, and that one day all things will be made right. Thank you for visiting us today. Please share with us your favorite Bible chapter below in the comments section. Don't forget to like and subscribe. It really does help our channel grow. Looking forward to see you back here for our next video. Always take good care.